Moving up the card, we've got Gerald Meerschaert making a return after going on a pretty decent win streak in my opinion, and he's going to be fighting Krzysztof Jotko, who is a little bit of a striker. I feel like we've got a little bit of a clash of styles going on right now, and Gerald Meerschaert sitting around the plus 150 underdog. I like Gerald Meerschaert as the dog. I will be picking the dog in this one here in Gerald Meerschaert. I've picked a few dogs in this card, and I'm picking Gerald Meerschaert. The win over Meerschaert really speaks volumes to me, and it really enriches my soul on the GM3 side right now. I like the fact that he managed to go with Meerschaert and eventually sink in a submission. It was a pretty crazy underdog upset on the side of GM3, and you know what, like I feel like even then I would probably pick Meerschaert to potentially beat Krzysztof Jotko as well, because Meerschaert really is like that good. Krzysztof Jotko split decision win over Meerschaert, and Meerschaert's first fight at 185 inside the UFC. He did lose to Sean Strickland, but Sean Strickland kind of is a pretty good decision-based fighter. He's not really the most exciting fighter in the world, but he does what he needs to do, and he does have a pretty good sort of style to win his decisions on the feet and on the ground if he needs to. Prior to that, though, he was winning over not-so-great competition like Alan Amadovsky. Come on, man. Anyway, Gerald Meerschaert. I'm picking Gerald Meerschaert to win. I'm picking Gerald Meerschaert to win by submission. All 9 of his wins inside the UFC have come by finish, which is pretty crazy. I think he's second for the most finishes inside the UFC in the middleweight division, second to Anderson Silva with 11. And he's on a 3-fight submission streak over Dustin Stoltzfus, who's a very good ground prospect in the middleweight division. Meerschaert, who's just a great prospect in general, snapped like a 14-fight win streak for Meerschaert there. And Vatos Fabinski, which I feel like was more of like a return fight from losing to Khamzat Chimaev, and Ian Heinisch, 2 guys that are in the top 15 of both the welterweight and middleweight divisions there. I think that Gerald Meerschaert is live for a submission win. I'm going to be going with the Tapology voters. I'm going against the odds. I'm going with the underdog in Meerschaert, 79% by submission, picking Meerschaert. I think that's fair. Krzysztof Jotko definitely more of a striking style. I think Gerald Meerschaert does have the ground game to give him problems, and I'm going to be picking Gerald Meerschaert to submit Krzysztof Jotko inside this fight here, which is actually pretty crazy because I feel like Krzysztof Jotko is a pretty tough guy. He's a pretty good fighter as well. I guess he's been in the UFC for a while, but he has lost by submission before. He has lost by finish a couple of times as well inside the UFC. He's been in the UFC though since 2013. This is what I thought, man. He's been in the UFC for a long time. But Gerald Meerschaert 9-5 in the UFC, I believe, whereas at Krzysztof Jotko it's 9-5. Moving on, Gerald Meerschaert by submission. I'm picking him to win.